Hey, it's Andy, and it's late June 3rd, and here are your curated research URLs and stories for today. I will be producing my research tomorrow morning, so check that out. I gotta write up something kind of interesting on inflation that I know you're gonna love. It's called Inflation Politics, so check it out. Again, you can follow and get all my research at andrewbush.com, and you can follow me on Twitter at ABUS. So here's the first article that I came through today. It was talking about the Fed announcing that they're gonna get rid of this one batch of corporate bonds that they bought during the pandemic outbreak to kind of calm the markets down and make sure that people knew that the Fed was going to backstop the corporate bond market. They bought corporate bonds and ETFs, but they made an announcement that they're going to sell these now. And this is really the beginning of tapering. I mean, you know, it's a great time to just get rid of junk that's in your portfolio that you don't need, especially a tiny amount like this, 14 billion, but it's a step down the path of tapering. So that's why I thought it was interesting. It's a short article. The second thing is there's something interesting going on in the House of Representatives. So a chairman of the Agricultural Committee of the House Ag Committee, who is a moderate Democrat, sent a letter to President Joe Biden saying that he does not want Biden to follow through on his elimination of stepped up capital gains taxes. So that would really hurt Biden's efforts to move forward on the American Family Plan, because that's where all the individual tax hikes are in that would pay for all of the things that he wants to spend money on the American Family Plan. So that's going to cause some problems. And this is really unusual for a member of the senior leadership of the Democrats to send the president a letter saying, whoa, we don't like that, what you're trying to do on capital gains. And it comes from the House Agricultural Committee, which means it's a focus on family farms, right? And specifically minority family farms, that if they're passed on to their heirs, they get hit with that big tax bite. And that's what they don't want. And this is a big obstacle for President Biden as he's trying to get these two infrastructure deals done. And then finally, The Hill has a great article talking about another problem for Biden's infrastructure plans, in that the Senate Parliamentarian has apparently communicated to Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer that they can only use budget reconciliation once this year. And they've already used it for last year's budget. It would be able to use it for this year's budget, or 2022's budget. And so if Schumer had any idea about passing multiple budget reconciliation bills, that's off the table as far as the Senate Parliamentarian goes. So again, this is a major roadblock or obstacle or whatever you want to call it to Biden's plans to get these two bills done. And basically what we're seeing is for both bills, for both infrastructure plans, these things are starting to run into quicksand, because we're getting into the summer. We're starting to get some things that are slowing down the process in the Senate. And we're also getting rising inflation. And people are starting to call into question whether or not we need to have additional stimulus if the unemployment rate's falling fast, and if we're getting GDP of 6.2%, and if we're getting inflation that's the highest level and rising at the fastest level in over 20 years. So that's something to keep in mind. These were just three great articles that got me thinking. And again, I'll produce an article tomorrow morning. If you want the newsletter, just go to the website and sign up on the research page, and you can get all my information there. Again, it's andrewbush.com, and you can follow me on Twitter at ABUSCH. And thanks for checking these out. Have a great weekend.